Ladies and gentlemen, this is Joe's Video Games, back with another cool arcade game. We got one in today that we don't get into often, and it's in a strange cabinet, so I figured I'd take a little video of it. People might want to see this. This is NBA Jam Tournament Edition, usually referred to as NBA Jams. I don't know why, but everybody always called it NBA Jams. I think because MTV Jams was out whenever this game came out, so everybody always called it MTV Jam. NBA Jams. But as you can see, it's NBA Jam. This is the tournament edition. They put out two versions of NBA Jam in the arcade. The first one was just regular NBA Jam. It was a huge success, so then they made NBA Jam Tournament Edition. Which had a couple little changes. I think you can swap players. I think you can pick who your two players are. I don't know. I'll find out here in a minute whenever we play it a little bit. But this thing is super cool. Now, this cabinet, you could get NBA Jam two different ways. You could get the dedicated cabinet, which was similar to this one, but it was more like the typical Midway cabinet. And it had a big basketball on the side, so the side was a little different. This one's a little more narrow. So you could get the dedicated cabinet, or you could buy a kit. So what a kit was let's say you had an old game like I don't know, anything, an old Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles or something, or let's say Street Fighter, because this cabinet's similar to Street Fighter, and you bought the NBA Jam kit. Well, you would just use the things in the kit to turn your Street Fighter arcade game into an NBA Jam. So what they would send it with was the game board, the sound board. Sometimes it would come with a wiring harness. You could rewire the cabinet if you wanted. It would have side art. So like for instance, this is the kit side art. So it's two NBA logos. And so you'd take your Street Fighter cabinet and you'd put the two logos on the side. You'd get a new marquee. So you'd swap that out so that it didn't say Street Fighter anymore. Now it says NBA Jam. And then they would send you a big sticker for the control panel. And this particular one, of course, looks like they did it kind of neat because it's a basketball court, but it's also the color of a basketball, kind of. This is kind of neat. So you would put the sticker over your old Street Fighter overlay, and then it had these little tiny stickers that came with it, like a turbo one, a shot and block button. It's shot if you're shooting. If you're offense, it's block whenever you're playing defense. And then pass and steal, same thing. Pass whenever you're on offense, steal whenever you're on defense. And the reason they sent those little stickers instead of just having it printed on the overlay was so that you could put it on any control panel. So this particular one is, they put this on and they made it actually a 4-player, which is actually kind of rare. Most of the kit cabinets, they probably would have made a 2-player because there's just a lot more 2-player cabinets out there that could be kitted. Usually you wouldn't have enough room. So this particular cabinet, I don't know what it was originally, but it didn't come from the factory likely as an NBA Jam. It may have, but I doubt it. There may have been a distributor doing it somewhere. Now the control panel looks like it's kind of just added on. Look how big it is. It's a huge control panel. But the way the thing's made inside, in my opinion, it kind of looks like it came that way. It kind of looks factory. I'm not saying that it was a factory in NBA Jam, but I think that this cabinet actually came with a 4-player control panel on it, which is, I don't see too many of them, so I don't know what company was making them, but I think this cabinet was made with that big control panel. That it actually fits it pretty good if you just step back and take a look. So most of the kit cabinets would only be a 2-player cabinet. I don't let me see if there's one sitting around here I could show you. I don't see one. So, but anyway, they call this one a Z-back cabinet. It's what a lot of people refer to it, because the back of the cabinet has that Z angle to it. And I believe 3KOAM actually built these. There's nothing serviceable on the back. You can't open any of that. But it actually works out pretty good like that, because once you get it, like say you're putting it in your house or you were putting it out on location back in the day, you would slide it up against the wall And then if you had to service it, you could just leave it there. All the stuff that you do to it, you open up the coin door, there's some latches in there, and you slide that control panel out. It's a big shelf, and it has the game board and everything under it. So anyway, I just thought it was a neat cabinet, and this game is certainly neat. NBA Jam Tournament Edition. I wish it was in the big cabinet with the basketball on it, but it's still a cool cabinet, and it's still 4 players. Check out the check out what they're doing there as it rolls through. Let me go on this side. Maybe the lights won't glare on it. They're showing you 3 players for each team. The original NBA Jam, I believe, I may have this wrong, I haven't had one in a while. I believe the original NBA Jam only had 2 players, and so you couldn't swap. Now you still play with 2 players, but you can swap between them. And famously, at the time, Michael Jordan was not in the game. I think he had a different player's contract or something, but we always wondered why that was. But Jordan is not in the game. You can't play him. But it's still great with Adam. Who wants to be the Chicago Bulls anyways, right? So there's the cabinet. What I'll do is I'll set up the tripod and show you a little more of the gameplay. The reason we videotape these is because a couple reasons on this one. NBA Jam, the tournament edition, the actual arcade version, you know, you don't see it out too often anymore. When was the last time you saw one of these in a department store where you could put a quarter into it? So we just videotape them to kind of show what they look like. This particular one's in a kit cabinet, so somebody went through a lot of trouble to make this look like an official NBA Jam. Now it is official, the kit is official. Nothing's fake, nothing's bootleg, but it didn't come from the factory with the cabinet. They only shipped the parts, and then you took a cabinet that you already had. There's the main screen. You took a cabinet that you already had and made it into Midway's latest game. So we like to videotape them and just show you some weird things and interesting games and cool games, classics. This is probably, what, 1993, 1994, something like that. I remember when this thing was in the arcade, man, down at Pineville, North Carolina, where I live. They were burning this thing up. People would play, and then whenever they got done, the next person would play. It just on and on and on. People always on it. Especially after this tournament edition upgrade came out. And there are a lot of hidden characters in the game too. I'm sure everybody's read about that. You put in different initials and birth dates at the beginning, and it lets you pick characters that they hid inside the game. So, but I'll put it on a tripod and show you a little bit of the gameplay. Be back in a minute. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I have set the camera up on a tripod and aimed it at the monitor. This is a Wells Garner K7000, which was in this cabinet whenever we got it. I believe it's the original monitor. And like usual, we rebuilt it, got a pretty nice picture out of it. It's not perfect. There's a couple little things I could nitpick on it, but it looks pretty good, and it, you know, the game plays good, so I figured I'd shoot a little video and show you what NBA Jam Tournament Edition was like. Of course, they released this for the home systems. This was on the Super Nintendo. It's got hidden characters in it. I can't remember any of the passwords, or I mean the initials and dates of birth to access one of them, but I think we'll play through a little bit. The track mode of this one was pretty cool. It tells you like what's different. Updated team rosters with at least 3 players from each team. Players can choose the same team. If you don't like your people that you've selected at halftime, you can swap some of them. More dunks, more secret power-ups, more special moves, more speech, more skill. Check that out. Other surprises if you can defeat all 27 teams. I don't know what that was, because I'd be lucky to defeat 1 team. But here we go. We're going to try it out. Cool thing about it too, the attract mode was some games they were smart enough to make it where you could press the button during attract mode and change what's on the screen. Like for instance, if I hit the turbo button, it'll move on to the, you know, just a preview of the gameplay. If I hit it again, it'll start showing me, you know, the greatest players, grand champions, experienced players. This was so you could brag to your buddies, you know. longest winning streak. Most popular teams at this location. Check that out. I think I just saw Clyde the Glide Drexler. And I believe I just saw Carl the Mailman Malone. Check that out, man. But like I said earlier, no Michael Jordan. He wouldn't sign on the dotted line. I wonder why that was. Free play, press start. Let's do it. Let's not enter our initials. Check that out. Charlotte Hornets, Larry Johnson, and Alonzo Mourning. Heck yeah.
Tonight's matchup, Hornets versus Rockets.
Player 1, your joystick controls only Larry Johnson. Your turbo shoe and ID arrow color is blue, in case you get lost, which I might. Player 1, your teammate's movement is controlled by the CPU. However, you control when he shoots or passes. To shoot, hold the red shoot button down until you wish to release the ball. A quick tap on the red shoot button causes the player to fake a shot. Run faster by holding down the white turbo button. For a super dunk, press turbo and the shoot button. Oh. I gotta pull off a decent dunk. Ah, come on. I think you can goaltend on this. I can't remember. Come on, man. Oh, man. I'm passing too much. No good. Burst the speed. Avoid pesking defenders and increase the speed of your player by holding down the turbo button. Oh, come on. Larry Johnson could do that in real life, couldn't he? Grandmama. And there's the famous boom shakalaka. We've all been waiting for it.
Yeah!
Larry Johnson had it like that.
The score is tied. He's heating up. Johnson.
Folks, there you go. We'll just go to halftime. But what a cool game. Check that out. Awesome. 1992, it says on the copyright. So anyway, that's just one of many games we have available right now. But by the time you see this game may be sold. And if it is, check out our website, www.lionsarcade. And you can check out the other games we have available right now. We may get another one of these, or maybe we'll have something else you're interested in. We just wanted to shoot a video of this and show you what a cool game really looks like. NBA Jam Tournament Edition, 1992. All right, see you next video.